Well, hi, welcome to the Pacific Bonsai Expo. This is an exhibit of about 74 trees from all over the United States behind me here. And on the other side of the room, we have a large vendor area. Upstairs, we're doing demonstrations and presentations. The trees in the exhibit are primarily from the West Coast. We have some from as far away as New York, we have Texas, we have a couple other spots in the Midwest, Colorado, and then all up and down the West Coast, with most of the trees coming from relatively close to here in Northern and Southern California. We're thrilled with the quality this year as we were last time, and I think overall the quality is about half a notch higher than it was last time. So we're thrilled with the trajectory that we see. The other thing is, so we've created a nonprofit organization to make sure that we can keep this show going and to make it easier for people to contribute. And so we've had awesome support from the exhibitor community, the vendor community, the donors, and the volunteers. They're the ones that have made this all possible. At no point has this been anything but a team effort on anyone's part.
Very quickly. We're going to be like alone. Yeah.
Okay, we have a light in the frame.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Pacific Bonsai Expo. I'm Andrew Robson, one of the 3 organizers and board members of our nonprofit that is responsible for bringing this event to place and for making beautiful bonsai here on the West Coast in the USA. We're really excited. We have a really great turnout with over 1,600 people coming to our event this weekend. We set up a nonprofit so we can do these expos for many more years to come. And we're really looking forward to show off quality bonsai to the bonsai people. We also have the largest vendor area, I think, in the United States. So it's a great place to shop for trees, to see some outstanding trees on display, and we have newly added programs this year. So lots of fun demos, talks, and some other things as well, panel discussions from all of your favorite bonsai professionals. So we're thrilled to be here. We're thrilled to present the expo to everybody, and a lot of hard work and donors and volunteers are making this happen. So we're really excited about the community, where it's heading, and we hope to see you at a future expo.
Welcome everyone, this is the 2024 Pacific Bonsai Expo, and I'm here in front of one of the displays that is sort of anchoring the room. So as one of the organizers of the expo, I decided that because we're in a really big historic building, that we needed to have something in the room that wasn't bonsai scale. And so at Bonsai Scale, we have all of these beautiful exhibits where the exhibit is really focused on the tree and removing all of the distractions. But outside of that, like sort of isolation of the tree, there's the potential in bonsai exhibits to create something that has more of a garden kind of feeling and put it in an exhibit. So kind of a crossover maybe between an art exhibit and a bonsai exhibit, or a sugetsu, ikebana, and a bonsai exhibit. And that's kind of what I've been after here with some of my displays. This one behind me was constructed using traditional Japanese carpentry techniques, not woodworking techniques, but carpentry techniques. And so the joinery is 100% wood. It was all created from material that came from the Pacific Northwest. And housed inside is a coast redwood, which is one of the iconic trees here in Northern California. And it's paired with a California buckeye branch, which is Aesculus california, and that is a native tree that's very often growing right near coastal redwoods in the natural environment. So there are 3 boxes that are kind of In the entirety, it's broken down into 3 separate spaces. One space, which is the foundation of the piece, represents the community that is here today, the community of people that are watching this video, and the entire bonsai community in the world, because I learn from everybody in some way or another. So the community is one critical aspect to making really top-level bonsai happen. And I can get into that in a little bit more detail, but first, the second square is representative of nature, and that's why the Buckeye branch is in the second square. It is sort of the natural aspect of the display. So we can't make bonsai without nature. The tree relies on the environment in order for it to grow, and so we can't make a high quality bonsai without it. And then the third box, the vertical box in the composition, is representative of time. We cannot make a top quality bonsai without a lot of time. All of the winners that we announced last night at the award ceremony, I think, have been bonsai for at least a couple of decades, and it really takes that kind of time to go from a raw piece of material to a top quality, show-winning kind of piece in an exhibit like this one.
My name is Michael Roberts, and I started bonsai in about 1991. I grew everything in the backyard for most of my life and only started showing trees about 2015. This particular cork oak was about 1 inch in diameter when I first got it and had a lot of low other trunks on it, so stuff has come off. But I acquired this probably about 20 years ago. And it's been in boxes until about two or 3 years ago, moved into a pot. So this is its first big show. So this is one of the first elms that I ever got. And I got this from Rosemead Nursery in a 1-gallon can. Had a trunk, the big trunk on it was about the size of my thumb, and the little trunk was about the size of my little finger. And I box grew this for the first 10 years till it started to look pretty decent, and then I put it in some cheap regular processed pot, you know, one of those cast deals. And I've been working on it ever since. It's turned out to be a really beautiful tree. I'm really proud of this. I typically don't prune trees, but about 2 or 3 times a year. I let them run, get strong. Sometimes this tree will have runners on it, you know, out 7, 8 inches long, and then cut it back. When I first started growing them, I let them run a lot, sometimes as much as a couple of feet, and then cut them back. And what that does, what it seems to do, is build up enough energy to when you cut it back, you get a lot of back budding. And that's true, as long as you can keep it fairly open, you're going to get a lot of good internal growth on these. Now that it's gotten all this ramification on it, what I have to do is I have to go in the April and July and defoliate by about 50%. Try to take off as much interior stuff and outside stuff so that I get the light back in there. But I don't do much to it later in the year. That's when you get all that nice fine twigging. So I grow these primarily for winter silhouettes. And they look really cool without any leaves on. When you see them with leaves, they're not as handsome.
Well, this tree is a Monterey cypress. It was collected in Pebble Beach, Carmel, California, by Katsumi Kinoshita. He is a very famous master bonsai artist in Monterey, California. He grew it for 35 years in a canister. I got it from him in his workshop at the Santa Clara GSBF convention. I've had it styled by Peter T. and Samuel Tan. Rock scallop I collected at 90 feet in Carmel Bay in 1967. And then as an accent plant, I have an ice plant that's very regional to Carmel. So the whole theme is kind of Carmel Bay.
My name's Greg McDonald. I'm from Placerville, California, and have 2 trees in the expo this weekend. First one's an English Hawthorn that was grown by an old-time bonsai grower in Prunedale, Santa Cruz area. Had a big long shaft on top of it, and I carved it off and used the root stock to recreate the tree, because the original Hawthorn had fruit almost apple size, and the root grafted part was much better, so I went to that, and that's where we are now, about 25 years ago. The other tree is a Louisiana Hawthorn collected in the bayou with Gary Marshall, I believe. JT, John Thompson was the guy who dug it, with Doug Phillips about probably 25 years ago. And I wish my color was a little better. I did everything I could, but Mother Nature's in control.
You want me to Photoshop that? I don't know if you're really getting at it.
All right, so I'm really excited to show off these 2 trees. Both of these trees are some of my oldest trees. I got both these trees when I was in high school about 15, 16 years ago. So it's fun to actually see them realized in an exhibit. This chochabai I got in about 2008, and I cut it back to 1-inch stubs with Michael Hagedorn in a study group because it wasn't really good for bonsai. And we've since regrown it from basically just a few cuts really close to the soil line. So it's been about 15 years of rebuilding, regrowing, but I'm really, really happy to present it. I don't know of another white chochabai quite like it. And we got really lucky even having a little bit of a flower for the show. So I've been working on this tree for a long time. It's very sentimental, and it's one of my favorite trees. It's in a beautiful pot by Nao Tokatake, who's a really good friend of mine and a vendor here at the show. I think he's probably already sold out. So, and this juniper here I got in high school as well. This was in the first Shohin convention that the Bonsai Society of Greater St. Louis put on. It's in an eco pot, who's also here vending this weekend. But this little Shimpaku is one that I did in a workshop with Taiga Urushibata. I think his dad actually grew the trees and they imported them for the workshop. So I got this when it was a big kind of bushy kind of plant in 2008. So it's fun to see these trees that I've been working on since I was a little kid kind of realize into a formal display. So really happy to share them with you all. I'm Andrew Robson of Rakuya Bonsai, and hope to see you soon.
I'm Jay. I've bought 2 of these pomegranates a ways back. They were actually collected out of a pomegranate orchard that was going to be bulldozed because the trees had gotten so old that they weren't bearing enough fruit to warrant those trees taking up that real estate. And I ended up with 2 of them, and they've just evolved into fabulous bonsais. Supposedly the trees were planted in the early 50s. So this tree is, it's not 100, but it's getting up there. And I'm really happy to see it's just starting to turn fall color. I saw that there was a couple other pomegranates where they had stripped the leaves off them. But to me, this show is all about fall color and gorgeous fruit. And I think I've achieved that.
This is our display, Japanese maple and Kingsville boxwood, and it's all about our bonsai community. This display was basically brought together by a group of friends, and the bridge representing how bonsai bridges the gap amongst all of us coming from different backgrounds with the love of our bonsai trees. And so the waterfall and then the bridge comes underneath. And we have a little haiku that says, "Bonsai is the bridge, sharing knowledge and beauty, roots of friendship grow."
This is a mountain hemlock collected from the northern part of Vancouver Island in the province of British Columbia. I've had it for about 25 years. First structural kind of wiring probably as far back as 2012, and that was done with Michael Hawthorn. It's gone through a variety of changes and styles since that time. The latest being this last spring, where the front was changed slightly, moved around, and this is the result of it. I love it. Michael's done a great job with it.
Well, the future is always interesting because we want to change things up. We've done 2 venues in 2 years. We're about double the size we were last time, and we want to go sideways and do something different next time. And we've got a lot of ideas. We'll see if we can execute, or how many we can execute on for the next show.